Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Ken Urker scheduled to be married March 1st, 2025, only 89 days from now.
This girl's trying so hard to lock this man down and mark her territory. And I have a feeling Gypsy's gonna learn the hard way that you cannot trap a man with pregnancy and marriage. And we all know that Ken is only in this for the money and fame. Also, maybe take a breather and slow down, girl, because you're literally still married to another man.
We have a situation that's so layered, so intricate, and just plain what is going on here that we have to talk about it. And yes, if you're thinking this has anything to do with Gypsy Rose Blanchard, then ding ding ding, you're absolutely right. Gypsy Rose might just be pulling off one of the most eyebrow-raising, head-scratching moves we've seen in a while. And trust me, with her track record, that's saying a lot. So loves, buckle up because we're diving into this whole ordeal involving multiple wedding registries, a fiancé, or is he an ex? And a lot of rumors flying left, right, and center. It is messy, it is intriguing, and it is exactly the kind of thing we need to unpack together. So grab your snacks, settle in, and let's get started. First things first, let's talk about these wedding registries. Gypsy Rose has allegedly set up multiple registries online announcing her upcoming wedding with Ken Urker. The date is already set, March 1st, 2025. Sounds dreamy, right? A beautiful wedding, gifts pouring in, and a new chapter in her life. Except something about this whole setup just doesn't feel right. Here's why. Most of the gifts on those registries have already been purchased. Yes, people have been sending her gifts like there's no tomorrow.
There are registries everywhere, all over the place online, all with the same dates. I counted 7 on Target alone. And guys, almost everything on all of these registries all across the web show to be purchased already. The grift never stops. It never stops. Now, of course, I don't know the location. I would have to assume that they're going to do it somewhere in Louisiana. I did see one that said Corpus Christi, Texas, which is kind of far-fetched to me because that seems pretty far from even Ken's family, who all lives up in Dallas. But we shall see. We shall see. I find it pretty interesting that they would get married so quickly after the baby is born.
When you dig a little deeper, things start to feel a little off. You see, there are rumors swirling that Gypsy and Ken might not even be together anymore. That's right, loves. Word on the street is that they broke up but are keeping up appearances for reasons we'll get into in just a bit. Now, who started these rumors, you ask? A content creator who's been following Gypsy's story closely. Nina claims to have inside sources who have confirmed that not only did Gypsy and Ken call it quits, but their breakup was filmed for their upcoming Lifetime reality show. Yes, you heard that right. Their breakup.
Breaking news! Ken Urker left Gypsy Rose Blanchard. He's done. So it's happened over a course of some days, and apparently it's being filmed. But he said he was tired of defending her. He was tired of standing up for her. He was tired of doing so much, and she constantly embarrasses him. He was absolutely done with the situation, and their relationship is OVER.
Loves, can you imagine being so tangled up in a web of drama that even your breakup becomes part of your TV storyline? Wild. So here's the million-dollar question. How is this wedding supposed to happen if Gypsy and Ken aren't even together anymore? Because let's face it, the idea of planning a wedding while allegedly being broken up is, well, it's giving suspicious. And here's another thing that's raising eyebrows. These registries have been around for quite some time now. Meanwhile, Gypsy is still technically married to her ex, Ryan. Yes, they are finalizing their divorce, but why the rush to set up registries and collect gifts when she's not even officially divorced yet? It's almost like she couldn't wait to see what people would buy for her. Now, let's not forget that Gypsy and Ken aren't even engaged, at least not in the traditional sense. There is no sparkly engagement ring, no elaborate proposal, nothing. The only thing we've seen is a black promise ring that Gypsy gave to Ken, and honestly, Lars, it felt more like Gypsy saying, "Here, let me do this for us," while Ken just sort of went along with it.
Gypsy Rose is so desperate to marry Ken that she took him on a special date to Nobu and basically proposed to him with a promise ring. This girl's trying so hard to lock this man down and mark her territory. And I have a feeling Gypsy's gonna learn the hard way that you cannot trap a man with pregnancy and marriage. And we all know that Ken is only in this for the money and fame. Also, maybe take a breather and slow down, girl, because you're literally still married to another man. When asked about the promise ring, Gypsy said that it's a symbol of his commitment to her and their family. Then shouldn't Ken have been the one giving you a promise ring, girl? You are trying to put this man on a leash. Getting pregnant will not keep him. You cannot force somebody to love you. What's even crazier to me is that this girl is literally begging people for money on the internet right now. She has a GoFundMe. She posted her baby registry, which was sold out in 30 minutes. She's literally a multi-millionaire. And there are people out there who need basic life necessities. While this girl can afford to go on vacations and go to Nobu, but she is asking the working class people to pay for her life? Or was Nobu free too, Gypsy? We know that you get everything for free, right?
And let's talk about Ken for a second. His reactions, or lack thereof, have been telling. Remember when he accepted that promise ring? It seemed like a sweet gesture at first, but then we started noticing something strange. That ring has been on and off his finger more times than we can count. It's almost as if he's not entirely sold on the idea of being promised to Gypsy. And loves, if a simple promise ring makes him feel this hesitant, can we really see him saying I do anytime soon? Ken's body language in public has also been, let's just say, less than enthusiastic. Whether it's walking far ahead of Gypsy, looking grumpy at outings, or just seeming emotionally detached, it's clear that he's not exactly head over heels. Even during interviews, Ken looks like he'd rather be anywhere else. And when you add all of this up, it starts to feel like this whole relationship may be more of a one-sided effort.
Now, doesn't it make sense as to why she said she's no longer posting her personal information on social? She wants to keep it private. Yo, chill. Jip is single, Bookie. She probably trying to get with Ryan right now. Ryan, don't you fall for that. Don't you fall for that. You better not fall for that, Ryan. You better be clapping butt cheeks. Keep clapping them cheeks. You better be at a cookout right now partying. You saw what you reaped, Gypsy. You thought you was leaving your husband for him, and he left you.
Now, let's circle back to these registries. Some people believe this whole thing might be part of a bigger scheme by Gypsy. Think about it. If you're not getting direct donations, what's the next best thing? Setting up registries and framing it as a wedding wish list, of course. That way, you get everything you need without it looking like you're outright asking for handouts. Smart? Maybe. Shady? Definitely. And let's not forget Gypsy's history. She's no stranger to pulling off elaborate schemes. So, is it really that far-fetched to think she might be orchestrating this whole thing to get her wish list fulfilled? At the very least, it's on brand for her. So where does this Lifetime reality show fit into all of this? Well, according to Nina, it's a big part of the puzzle. She claims that Gypsy and Ken's breakup was not only real, but was filmed for the show. And loves, if this is true, it changes everything. Because then the question becomes, are Gypsy and Ken really trying to work things out? Or are they just keeping up appearances for the cameras? And let's not forget Christy, who's been heavily involved in all of this. She's been acting as a go-between for Gypsy and Ken, managing their public image and trying to keep things under wraps. But even Christy couldn't hide her frustration when she called Nina's sources a snake, essentially confirming that the leaked information was accurate. Now let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. If Gypsy and Ken are truly broken up, then what's the point of all of these registries? Are they just a clever way to get free gifts? Or is there something else going on here that we're not seeing? And what about their daughter? Gypsy has been vocal about wanting to co-parent with Ken, but if their relationship is as strained as it seems, how is that going to work? Loves, there are so many questions and not nearly enough answers. At the end of the day, this whole situation is messy, complicated, and full of drama. Whether this is all part of a scheme, a reality show storyline, or something else entirely, one thing's for sure. We'll be keeping a close eye on Gypsy Rose and Ken. So what do you think? Are these wedding registries just a clever way for Gypsy to get what she wants? Is there any chance that this wedding is actually happening? Or is this just another chapter in Gypsy's long history of questionable decisions? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and do not forget to like and subscribe for more updates. Because trust me, loves, this story is far from over.